Hi, this is Apibal. It is now 11:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, December 9, 2014. The second topic that I want to write for today is about my dinner with David. Now, I met David back in the end of 2010, one night with Matthew, when I met Justin as well. And from the get-go, I did feel that he, just as I felt about Justin, that I felt like David is gonna be an important person in my journey, in my life. I just didn't know how, and I didn't know when. But I would say that that insight has proven to be true tonight. Over the years, he and I, run into each other and spend time together, but we never really got to connect on the spiritual level, on the love level that we did tonight. But I always knew that he has been a friend to me, even though sometimes I may not have done good things, or maybe he treated me badly, but something about our relationships kept us together on this journey, and just goes to show to me that he is important to me. And later, when all these energy stuff happening to me in 2012, and then this year in 2014, because I was away from Florida in 2013, I started to notice that David has a lot of grounding energy, and he seemed to have a lot of a very high psychic defense. Like, he's very good at, like, his grounding ability keep him from letting fear overtake him. And I found that to be a very powerful ability, because it's something that is a way superior to mine. My grounding energy is different. We all are different. It's not about being good or bad. Okay, it's just what each of us has. Because they all have his own quirk, right? They all have their own quirk. Like my ability, like my grounding ability, maybe it's not as like solid grounded, but it has its own good part to it. As well as my ability to deal with the fear is like different. But what I needed to keep me solid, his is very powerful. His is like right there. And I always like think back of the synchronicity and the chronological series of events. I know that he is part of the path he's put in my path for a reason. And when I come back to think this year, I've been wanting to connect with him. I've been like wanting to take him to dinner and do like really connect with him on the spiritual basis, but it just hasn't happened. I guess it wasn't the right time, because if I synchronicity, because I wasn't ready myself. Like, I wasn't ready with where I was at in terms of dealing with energy and the entities and all these things that has been happening to me. Like, where I am now, I'm more solid with understanding my experience and understand what's going on and understand with who I am. So I can see why now is the time that I'm able to connect with him at this moment, on this level. And I took him out to dinner, and we had some really great conversation, and I just I wanted to ask him, if he see things that I see, because it's not a lot of people like to talk about it, right? And also, like, the metaphysical groups, like the established metaphysical and spirituality group, they don't seem to understand this experience that is happening, that is going on. They only talk about the light, Yet they use seance, which is to me dark art, but another topic, sorry. Okay. So, he shared with me that yeah, he do he does see them too, and that he does hear them. And I was sharing with him that sometimes I get scared, sometimes I get afraid, because especially in the past, like I don't, I did work, I worked it out, but especially in the beginning, I was like afraid of what they are, who they are, like why are they there, why are they watching me, why are they following me, like what are they trying to tell me. And sometimes, I feel like they are, I don't know if they're demons or whatever. I mean, I told him that, I say aliens too, but that's a different thing, right? And he said that he feels that they're not demons. Which doesn't kind of say, demons are really angels, right? And he was saying that he feels that they are there to make sure he's okay. Which I can see what he's saying. Because there have been many moments in times these past several years where they are there to make sure that I'm okay. But at the same time, they also like, it was kind of like they're punishing me. Also, scolding. I don't know. We'll talk about that later. But to him, he said that they are there to protect him. We talk about being followed, right? Being followed by these, whatever they are, these entities, whatever, And we agree that it seems, he was like, do you see them at night or do you see them during the day or what? I said, well, at first I thought I only see them at night, but I see them during the day too. But, like that, it seemed that at night I get to see their true form, but during the day I see their human form. And I share with him that about like noticing being followed, being watched, right? And I told him that I saw one on the way to his house. I saw a lot of numbers too, by the way. I saw a lot of the activation number sequences on the way to his house, and while I was spending time with him, which telling me like was like these activation code or activation programming was like being downloaded into me, blah blah blah, right? I'm like letting me know that I was supposed to be there. And I kind of like went, okay, let's talk about being followed. I went past his house because I didn't put my GPS on, and I was like, I don't remember ever driving down this winding road. And I was like, I swear, like these entities are like fucking with me again, because there have been experiences when they like take me to places where I didn't mean to go, or like shift change this fucking street. Okay, so I found out myself at the dead end. I was like, great, right? As I was starting to look at the GPS, and I was like, okay, I went past it. I was like about to turn around. Funny enough, I noticed a car coming right behind me, right? Look, and it looks just like Justin's car for some reason. Then, as I was doing my three-way U-turn, three-point U-turn, three-point turnaround, I see in the back mirror, I see her kind of smiling. Like she knows that I noticed her. And as I finished turning around, she also turned around. She didn't stop and park at the dead end, she just turned around. And as I was working, driving back toward David Street, I was like, I wonder if that car is gonna follow me all the way. But then, I went past a traffic light and it turned yellow. The traffic light is here, the street, and the next street after the traffic light is where I want to turn. So that car gets stuck at the traffic light, but the car used the turn signal to turn on that street. So I was thinking that, you know, and then I stopped to turn on the street, next street, and I was watching turning. Shit like that happened before many times. So when David was mentioning that he thinks they're just there to make sure we are okay, I'll take comfort in that, of course. But there have also been times when they don't act like they are just there to make sure I'm okay either. Just like kind of like scaring me or something. I don't know. But I'll explore about that as I go back through the months and through the years and put up all of those experiences on the blog, so they will make more sense. And I will try to be as I will also include my understanding of what they are today with that storyline. Because before I didn't understand. That's why I didn't want to share it before. And anyway, let's get back to the energy. So, you know, David wasn't feeling well. He's sort of having a cold. So, you know, after dinner, he just want to lay down and like took some leave, and we start laying on bed, and like we just like have some communication, you know, good conversation. And then he was saying, oh, like people tell him that he has good, like he has healing hand. So he placed his hand on my chest. And I told him, oh yeah, I was telling him that like the one thing that I like about him is that he has a very powerful grounding energy, something that I'm not good at, and that he also very good at the, like dispelling fear, right? And he agrees about that. And as he was putting his hand on me, I started to feel the energy coming in. So I placed my left hand on his hand, and I started a intentional energy transfer. Basically, I said I wanted to for him to transfer his grounding energy into me, and that I would transfer my love energy and healing into him. And that was happening. I felt that my energy was being transferred to him, and his grounding energy was transferred to me, and I started to feel more grounded, like the fidgety feeling, being frigid, like frigidity, like moving around. It was like, God, I just lay there on the bed, calm. I felt like so relaxed. You know, something that I have not been able to do for a while. These past several days, I've been like so stressed about all the things that I have to do, and you know, always on the go, always on the go, always on the go. So receiving that grounding energy just like led me to just lay and just sink and just relax and rest. Very powerful energy. And the more that we lay there, I think we lay there for about 20 minutes, I started to feel the energy build up in my chest from his energy transfer. How to describe the feeling? But I can feel that it's like getting very powerful. Like a lot of it is now being stored inside of me. And I was feeling like kind of tired, you know, from like being running all the time and like a long day at work. And I was telling him like I feel so tired earlier. But as he was transferring that energy into me, I felt like more energized. Because at first I thought that when I come back home I'm just gonna pass out. And then he woke up because he passed out while I was like doing the energy transfer. I was basically giving him the healing energy to remove the bad energy, like the toxin energy per se, out of him. That is making him feel like cold or whatever, like, you know, this like cold onset. And he fell asleep, and I was just like laying there with him. And then he woke up at exactly 8:28. 8:28? Should look that up what it means. I told him, wow, like you totally like recharged me. I feel like a lot more energized now. Like I feel that my energy has come back. And I actually feeling any better, is it not really, but I noticed that he was sweating a lot, which shows me that maybe my healing energy was working, because I was trying to remove the toxin now, right? So I was telling him, oh, that's good, like sweat it out. That like he's sweating it out. So I'm hoping that he will feel much better tomorrow from the healing session, from the energy share session. He also shared with me that he see 1111, 1001, 111, 222, 333. Which to me is good, because it means that he's already moved past the 1111 activation code, and he's on to the next sequence, which is like the 111, 2, 2, 3, 3. And he also told me that his number is 8, which would make sense because like number 8 has to do with personal power, personal energy, like very strong energy. So it would make sense why he has so much of it. So I would say that tonight with him was my first real experience of doing a sharing, of doing a transferring of energy, like what he has that can give to me, and what I have to give to him, like an equal transferring of energy. Like he doesn't take things from me, I don't take things from him. It's an equal transfer of energy. And just laying it together. Which is something that people do during meditation. Which is why meditation is a tool of energy transfer and mind insertion or mind melting purposes. To me, meditation is a mind and energy tool, not really has to do with reaching enlightenment. Maybe it does, but not right now for me. I have been shown that meditation is definitely, which is what basically what we were doing, like what David and I was doing. We were basically meditating and transferring energy. Intention is very important here. Intention and love, to make sure that the energy is transferred in an equal way. And you know, once the energy transfer is complete, you will know, like you just know. Something will let you know it's time to stop. So I would say that I found another friend for this journey, another friend with abilities and energies that I do not have, and I am continuing to look out for more. This is Nattawat Apibal. Believe. And I like what David said. Everything is connected. Everything is connected. This is Nattawat Apibal.